happening, guys, and welcome to Keeping It Real. And I'm keeping it so real for you. I'm your host KP, who's been in the fitness industry for 84 years, a very long time, and I run an online coaching program for women called Women Who Build, because in there we're building muscle, we're building mindset, we're building standards, but we're building something that doesn't crack under pressure, because I'm sick of like the doom loop that us birds find ourselves in and out the food jail, thinking that we have to live like a bodybuilder, eating chicken, broccoli and soggy rice. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, stop it. Put down the Nando's sauce. So I just wanted to break that pattern and show women that you can really live a full, fit, fun life. It doesn't need to deplete you and now you're drinking your dinner. Do you know what I mean? I'm just having this shake to eat the night, Jim. So yes, that's what I'm all about. It's the movement. So we have our coaching program, which has lots of different experts in there, lots of cool stuff. We've got our actual doctor who specialises in menopause, not just some PT making up rubbish about balancing hormones, giving you mad links in bios, none of that. We've got our mindset coach, because mindset is massively important. I personally feel it's the thing that keeps a lot of women stuck. When I used to work on the gym floor, I would do one-to-one coaching. I'd be teaching them deadlifts, we're doing burpees over the bar. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And it's because the big missing piece was the mindset. We've got our pelvic floor as well coach, who, like, it's so important that you know what's going on with the pelvic floor. Like, that's a major women's, it's any health. Men have a pelvic floor, and it's not just a vagina. You don't have a loose pelvic floor because you've had a wean, you know. And do you even know if your pelvic floor is overactive or underactive? Do you know this? And then we have our Chinese doctor Melody, who helps me a lot with our winter build. Don't know if many of you know this, but I've been going to a Chinese doctor since I was 8. I used to have really bad eczema, like all over my face and everything. Went to my dad's friend who's a Chinese doctor, and he gave me a cream and changed some things in my diet, and it went away. And it's just been manageable through things like that. So from a very young age, I was aware that putting stuff in my body could have an effect, like physically and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool. And over winter, things get a bit tougher, right? Things get a bit tougher over winter. I tweak the girls' training plans and different strategies on how you don't let your activity level drop in the winter, because it's a different story when it's a nice day, innit? You do your steps, you're like, come on, Jim, we're going to a walk. But when it's pushing it down in dark, you're like, don't fucking bother me with that walking, Jim. Do you know what I mean? So you need systems, strategies and support in place over the winter time. So she gets a wee bit involved, gives us some cool tricks from traditional Chinese medicine. We've got our accountability coach, who, by the way, you can't even take a shite without her knowing, you know what I mean? So she makes you stick to those standards. And I'm the head coach there. I deal with things like your training plans, help your nutrition. I host the coffee morning every Sunday, which is our community event. So you've got the whole personal sort of coaching field, but with this big community, which is so important. So if you're interested in that, you can just reach out. I also have the school group, which is free, and I'm trying to get it to 5 million women. In there, 5 million. So if you're in there, then please share. We're at 60, I think, now. It's been running for a couple of weeks. So I would say we're on track to 5 million, because I really want to have this movement for women where health and fitness brings joy to their life, and they're not in and out the food jail. They're not signing up every January, new year, new me. Because it's not a new you, new year. That's the problem. It's the same you. It's a new year, but it's the same you doing the same shit. So I just want to put a stop to all that, you know, and make women, they can be seen, they can take up space, they can get strong, they can set boundaries. They don't need to have mum guilt. So I'm all about that. So I'm doing a podcast series right now on should I buy, because there's a lot of stuff online. There's a lot of confusion. I would just be raging if my mum was getting scammed or my missus was getting scammed. I'd be bailing at that. So I don't want any of you girls getting scammed either. And paying for things and spending your hard-earned cash, right? Because I'm that person. Like, if Stacey actually called me the money police the other day, because we were all going out to the shops, and she was like to me, are you coming? And I was like, yeah, I'll come. I can just walk about behind them like the bouncer. But she was like, fuck's sake, the money police is coming, because I stopped them buying shite we don't need. So I'm like that for you, right? But I hate when we're wasting our money and effort and time, hard-earned cash, and our hope, wasting our hope on something that ain't going to move the needle for you. So last week was a non-needle mover. It was something you'd just be wasting your money on, and that's anything to do with hormone balancing. Nobody can balance your hormones. You wouldn't even want them to be balanced, and nobody online is doing that genuinely. They're taking your money, but they're not balancing your hormones. So that's just a shanter. Another shanter is the metabolism fixing. Nobody can fix your fucking metabolism like that online, link in bio. There's no supplement that will do that. So I don't want you to waste your money on that, because that is not moving the needle, okay? This week, this is something that could move the needle for you, right? If all done properly, of course. And the supplement that we're going to talk about today is a supplement that I've took for a lot of years. I get different clients to take it depending on what their training program looks like and what their goals are like. So you can decide by the end of this if you should buy it. And that is creatine. It is doing the rounds now. I'm a wee bit worried it's going to, what happened to protein. You know how like protein's just like everybody's obsessed with protein now. It's on everything. It's on protein noodles. Protein Percy pigs, not yet. I will be annoyed at that if it does come out, but it's like this kind of junk food but with the word protein slapped in front of it. But because now protein, everybody thinks it's like a free pass that they can just eat all this shit. Still shite. And protein as well is good, but you need to have a lot of factors in place for it to even be relevant to what you're doing. So still the weight training is the stimulus, protein be the cherry on top. If you're not lifting weights, I'm like, why are you so obsessed all the time? Do you know what I mean? If you're trying to lose fat, protein is more filling. You're not really going to go in for a second chicken breast, are you? But you go in for a second handful of those chips, wouldn't you? So things like that. But I don't want creatine to happen what's been happening to protein. Like I don't want to start seeing creatine noodles, shit like that. But I do think it's a worthwhile supplement, because if you're taking creatine, you're probably lifting weights. Hopefully, yeah. Because if you're not, then you're probably wasting your time. If you think you're just taking creatine for the fact that you've heard there's been brain benefits for like focus and stuff, then it wouldn't be strong enough evidence. But for the fact that it gives you the edge in the gym and gym adaptations, gym gains, getting stronger, fitter, faster, of course that's going to move the needle. That is going to benefit you massively in your life. So this is a needle mover. I'm going to go over some things though, like what actually is creatine, because it's like this thing that's stored in your muscle, right? And you're taking it. Are you just taking it online, by the way, without knowing what it is? Is that what you're doing? And it, so you can get it from meat and you can get it from fish. And obviously if you have a wee bump of it every day, it'll top that store up, and it's really good for like explosive energy. So for example, if I'm in the gym and I'm doing deadlifts and I'm going for it and I've got a set of 8 reps to do, but then now that I've been taking the creatine for a few weeks and I can do 10. I'm starting to be like, I feel the benefits here of the creatine. So now I've just got an extra 2 reps. If I do that throughout my lot of my sets, I'm going to compound the extra couple of reps. That's going to make a difference, isn't it? So I'm going to get stronger. Tick. I'm going to build muscle. Tick, tick. If you've got a good progressive strength training plan that is in conjunction working with creatine, I must stress that. You need to have all the right things in place to get the benefit out of it. If I'm doing sprints and I can do 25 seconds, right? But now I've been taking creatine and I can get 30 seconds now. So I've just added on 3 sets at 30 seconds instead of 5 sets just at 25 seconds. So I've just added on an extra 15 seconds really. So if I do things like that over time, that's going to obviously nudge the needle. So it's a performance supplement. It's not a supplement that I would take if I wasn't needing that performance edge. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to think it's like a sort of wonder drug, and if you're not doing anything, like, oh, it's going to work anyway, because it will not. It will not. Your creatine is in your brain, your kidneys, liver, muscle, right? And that's obviously where a lot of the cognitive chat has came around. And it was about in 2024, I think, where a study was brought out, and they did see some like good signs. It was like, this is positive. Nothing absolutely cemented though. It wasn't like, this is definitely what creatine will do. It will give you better mental performance. It will make you more focused. It's going to stop you feeling fatigue. It wasn't like that. It wasn't a study like that. It was like, watch this space. This is good. If you use it and that's how it makes you feel a bit more focused, then I would say to you, then keep using it. And if my girls that are set up in their type of training would benefit from creatine, I'm like, then let's do it. If they're lifting and they've got heavy and maybe they've got a lot of training volume, yeah, man, good creatine. And it's been very, very well tested, like 30-year studies done in creatine, so it's a safe supplement. You'll maybe hear a couple of rumours about it, like, oh my God, the kidneys though. What about the kidneys? Nothing, fine. Hair loss. Well, it was tested on a rugby team, right, where their hair loss, yes, it was like these guys who get hair loss, but it was their DHT was high, which is like a testosterone that burns hair follicles, right? It's quite a spicy testosterone, but more than likely those guys were on illegal performance enhancing things as well, which can increase that testosterone and burn away the follicle, and then you're bald. Or my guys that try and get away with that, I'm like, no, it's just your age, mate. It's nothing to do with the fucking creatine. You've been taking creatine for 15 years. You're just old now and your hair you're balding because your dad's bald. So there is nothing to do with that. So you can be rest assured that it's not going to affect your kidneys and it's not going to make you bald. But also a lot of people might find that just doesn't agree with them. Like you could get stomach cramps. Some people report bloating. I find if I take creatine and I'm not drinking water, then I get really dehydrated and I can get a headache. So if you're taking creatine, I always say just make sure you're drinking enough water. Here's the thing as well, whilst we're on the topic of that, right? So if I was trying to lose fat and I'm going via the scales, then I wouldn't take creatine, because creatine makes you hold a bit of water as well. And that can be for people the first few weeks, it can be all the time, but it does make you hold, so you'll be a bit heavier on the scales. So if you're like that, freaking out, like, what the fuck, I've not changed in here, is it the menopause? Oh, Jesus Christ, but it's creatine you're taking. Then maybe what you could do is stop taking it and just see how you feel. See if the scales come down again. You can just be like, right, I can rule anything else out. It wouldn't be the menopause, by the way. That's not a thing. You're not just going to put weight on. I've got women in perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, in absolutely cracking shape. So it's not like here's your ticket to put timber on as soon as you reach that age. So it's just if you were taking creatine and you were working with the scales and you did notice it going up, yes, that would happen. So it's up to you whether that's the right time in your journey that you want to be taking creatine or not. To be honest, I like to stabilise things first. Get the base cemented, get the foundations tight so they're sturdy, and then I'll add things in. Do you know what I mean? So you don't need to do things all at the one time. Like the creatine could be a next level thing for you. And I also want to talk to you about how you take creatine. Now, the different brands of creatine out there now are, I've seen the Kardashian one, it's a fortune. So if you've heard of a thing called pink tax, it's like just making women pay more for the same old shite, but they'll maybe put a pink label on it and be like, this is specifically for women, which is a lot of bullshit, right? Monophosphate creatine, monohydrate creatine is what you want to be taking, monohydrate creatine, and you can get that honestly cheap as chips. And I say to my clients, you should not be paying any more than like a tenner. I paid a tenner for my creatine and it has honestly lasted. It's like bottomless. I'm like, what the fuck is this like magical creatine? It just never ends because it lasts ages and you should only be paying like a tenner. So I see ones like the Kardashians, and for a start it's the gummies, which I don't recommend. It is a hit or a miss on the gummies, and people did loads of tests on the gummies. And there was some gummies coming back with no creatine in them. You're just like, chewing a fucking Haribo. Huh? No creatine in it. So hit or miss. At least if it's the powder, it's something you can measure and you can see it going in. Do you know what I mean? So if you get your monohydrate powder, which again, I'll put the link up so that you can just buy one so you know it's a decent one that I would get. You can put like a teaspoon, or normally you get a wee scoop per day. You don't need to load it. You might hear a lot of chat about loading creatine, a loading phase where you would like take more creatine and then take it down into just a kind of normal range. I wouldn't do that personally. I think you should just take creatine every day with the wee scoop or a teaspoon, just a wee teaspoon, not heap, just a teaspoon level. And you could take that every single day, even in non-training days. You don't need the gummies, and especially do not buy the big fucker, the huge creatine pills. That's a mistake, because it looks like something that you would get out of the vet for a horse. These big chalky bastards, you don't want that. So the powder's ideal. You can mix it in if you wake up in the morning and you remember to take it easier. Have it mix in with your coffee. If you take it at night, then you can mix it in with something you take at night. You did hear me say that, at night. And do you know why I take my creatine at night? Because it's not a stimulant, okay? A lot of women are thinking that creatine's this stimulant that's going to give you energy. It's not. And by the way, just for your information, nothing gives you energy. I'd sell it. I'd say, this gives you energy, ask me. Like, see, even like your Red Bulls or all the stimulants that you can see, coffee, it doesn't give you energy. It blocks the sleepy hormone. That's waiting on you. See, when that wears off, it's like that. Hello darkness, my old friend. It's not like it's a fucking, you've just been charged. The only way to charge your body battery is to make sure your lifestyle isn't like you're fucking doing everything for everyone else. So that's what I say a lot of the time. People pleasing, not doing things for you. All these things are draining your battery. How would you feel energized, really? If you feel really fatigued, then it could be your hormones. The Red Bull isn't going to fucking help with that. Do you know what I mean? If you feel like, it could be, if you're sleeping and you're still not feeling good, could be your iron levels. A Red Bull ain't helping that either, okay? To get energy, you kind of need to generate it from moving. But I'll get people going, I've not got the energy to train. Well, training will give you energy, right? But not right away. You need to be doing it for a wee while. So I guess then, you know, the consistency needs to be there. Then you need to make sure you're getting to your bed. You're not sitting up watching shit in the telly like fucking Mary Harry or some pish like that, right? You need to make sure you're getting good sleep hygiene. So that is being off your phone an hour, get to your bed, and then see if you've got a watch, a wearable to see, track your sleep. It's a fucking Gucci. Don't come at me. I love it. I love to know my sleep score. And then that can determine my mood for the full day. I'll be like, I've had a terrible sleep score. I'll bring it up all day as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's my full personality now. But yeah, so it's like putting a bit of effort into your sleep, a bit of effort into your lifestyle, a bit of effort into building boundaries, and surprise, surprise, you could have more energy, but you ain't getting energy from creatine, okay? So that's not what it does. I think I would like to know if women listening to this right now thought that. So they thought, I can't take creatine at night because it is a stimulant. So let me know what you thought of that. I would like to know if you thought it was a stimulant. So, I mean, it is a supplement. In any supplement, the actual word says it will supplement. So if you're having a fag and a Red Bull and you've not trained since fucking like Roxy Music, Gina G was in number 1 in the charts, then it'd be pointless for you to take this supplement, because a supplement is going to supplement something to make it a wee bit better than it already is. It's not to fucking replace anything. So if you're doing all the right things and you're training and you train hard, you're like, I train hard, then creatine could be good for you. I'm lifting weights, man. I'm doing like snatches. I'm like doing like sprints. I do all this stuff, not changing the fucking bed sheets, right? Although that could be quite a thing that you need explosive energy for. Why does the bottom sheet never fit? But do you know what I'm saying? So you need to be making sure that if you're going to take any supplement, then it's going to align and you're not just wasting your money. So I do think creatine is a good supplement as long as you've got a good training plan in place. In terms of the focus side of things, as I said, it's quite early on. It's a kind of watch this space, but there's no evidence that's really hardcore on it. I've had a look, there's nothing. But I do think that, you know, if you feel better and you feel focused, then keep taking it for those reasons. But people are like that, Pierre. Snorting fucking creatine off the fucking kitchen worktop. I'm like, why are you doing that? Cognitive nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you feel like you can't focus, then maybe have a look at what tabs are open for you right now, or Like, are you constantly doing everything for everyone else? Because that's why you'll not be able to focus. Like in our coaching program, I make them do the 3 non-negotiables every week, and I do these myself. I do them for business and I do them for personal, and I write down 3 behaviours that I'm going to look at on a daily, and if I've not done them, I can do them and they will move the needle for me. It's kind of like actions. There's not ever a magic wand that you could take. Like, creatine isn't a magic wand. It's not a magic supplement. If you're doing all the right things and you've got your strength training plan and it makes sense for you to be taking creatine, then yes. But again, if you're not doing the training, then no, I wouldn't waste my money on it. So I hope that was helpful, a little episode, and we'll see what's going to be next week on Should I? Maybe you should give me some suggestions. You can ask me some questions and I'll cover whatever it is you're wondering if you should do or buy or whatever you're going to come up with. So take care and we will speak soon, yous.